for joining, Ian. Ian, I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe you can pronounce it
Yeah,
for
it's
Ian.
like Ian,
Ian,
right?
okay. Nice to meet you. It's good to have you on this meeting. I would say basically we're going to look into your book, The Security Plus, which I have here. Um, so I basically checked the book out. It's really, really nice. I wish I have this opportunity when I did my Security Plus, but it's really, really well loaded, I would say, and I feel like it's what people need to pass the Security Plus exam. So I just have some couple of questions about this book, and you're going to just give us small view about them, about the book precisely, and how this book basically can help students pass the Security Plus exam. But before we go to that, we just want to ask some questions. I mean, let people know who you are, what you do, just a brief introduction from you.
Thank you very much for having this session. I really appreciate it. First of all, my name is Ian Neil. I'm an old 66-year-old Scottish guy who's been in IT security for 30 years. I'm not retiring because I'm helping young people with their job roles. I work with the US Army across Europe and the Air Force because the Security Plus is a baseline qualification. And if they don't get it, they could lose their job. So the Security Plus gets them advancement in their career with points. It gets them an access token so they can actually get on the systems. And I've been doing this for about 6 years. And somebody said to me, why don't you write a book? And I thought, well, I think I will. So I've actually wrote 3 books already. My first one was terrible. It really was. My last one, the 601, was a bestseller for about 18 months. And I believe that this 701 will be a bestseller as well. However, my 701 book has come out 4 months behind everybody else because I didn't want to just cover objectives. I wanted to explain it so that if someone's got no background in IT, they're not lost. Somebody's called it lost in the weeds or something like that, but I don't know if that's an American thing. But I just want people to do really well. I want everybody that buys my book to get certified and also gain knowledge.
That's interesting. Thanks for sharing that out. I believe we audience have, kind of understand, know who Ian is and what he does. So moving forward, just have some couple of questions, follow-up questions to ask. So can you kind of elaborate your notable training experience you had with the US Army, if you are comfortable discussing that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I first of all went to Stuttgart in 2016 because I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I teach inside Microsoft as well.
Okay.
And at lunchtime, the people were talking about Security Plus. At that time, I was teaching it to the UK spooks at GCHQ at Cheltenham. And I thought to myself, wow, these people really need it for their job. So I designed a 10-day course on 401. We're now on 501, 601. And what I've done, I've traveled all over the world. I've been 5 sites in Germany, a couple of sites in Italy. I've even been to Ukraine. I've been to Kosovo. And those places are quite dangerous, so people don't want to go. Recently, in February, I've just been to Djibouti by the Red Sea. Now, I didn't realize that when I go to Djibouti, they were going to give me body armor and a helmet.
Wow.
And in the month, we had 4 scares of incoming missiles where we had to go to a bunker. And I thought to myself, I'm not going home. I've got 2 courses of 12 people that need this qualification, and I'm going to get them qualified. The job satisfaction I get is I'm putting these people on the career ladders. It's more than just teaching, you know?
Yeah. Wow. That's kind of interesting. I love to listen to
I'm,
that.
I'm going back to Djibouti for 6 weeks at the end of May.
So you basically travel a lot and you've traveled like all over the world. That's really
Yeah.
great. Okay, that moves to my next question regarding the book. So can you discuss um the student pass percentage of the previous edition, the 601?
Yeah, 61. We certified something like 2,000 soldiers, and we had a pass rate of about 82%. But what we did during that period, we actually did revision classes for people that failed. So we
Hmm.
had an 82% pass rate on Security Plus. And I'm the only author that actually teaches currently, you know?
Yeah. I remember when I did Security Plus, that was my first certification in the IT industry. And it was pretty tough exam, but it's really, really great. I like the CompTIA Security Plus a lot because it covers a lot of field within the cybersecurity space. So moving forward to my next question, how does this build trust in the new 701 book written by you?
Well, what happened is I've wrote the new 701 and I looked at all the exam objectives and 20% of the technical stuff has disappeared.
Hmm.
And it's been replaced by the more modern cloud and IoT.
Okay.
And I looked to myself and I thought, what's the best way for the young people that have got no background, also professionals, to get this? And I decided that I would do 28 chapters. Now, they're not huge chapters, they're mini chapters, because there's now 28 exam objectives. So, chapter one, objective 1.1, chapter two, objective 1.2. So, what I've done at the back of each chapter, once you've done this chapter, I've done a summary. And then I've laid out the exam objectives so that what you can do, you can highlight each exam objective from what you've read. And then what I do on top of that, I've got 10 multiple choice questions per chapter to see if you've actually picked up all the information. And what I do with those at the back, I give you the right answer and I also tell you why the wrong answer is wrong. So I'm actually using the multiple choice as a teaching tool, you know?
Yeah.
And I wrote it in such a way that I didn't go jargon, jargon, jargon. I actually wrote it so if you had no technical background, you could read it and not feel overwhelmed. But at the same time, the IT professionals are picking it up and they're doing really well.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. My next question goes to the changes. So, what can you say regarding the significant changes between the 601 and the 701? Regarding
I
this,
think I think the 701, some of the content they put in, like the management type of stuff, is moving towards CASP and CISSP, and there's less technical stuff coming out. But also in the 601, you can't just take your 601 topic, cut
Mhm.
and paste and put it in 701, because 701 measures the same topic but from a security angle. So you're trying to come from a management point of view rather than a technical point of view. So if I was to take some in my 601 book and put it in a 701, it wouldn't work because people are not getting the right aspect or the right way it's measured.
Hmm. So that kind of make the difference between the 601 and 701. That's
Massively. Also, 701, I teach 601 in 5 days. I teach 701 in 6 days because there's about 25% more content for the people to pick up.
oh, I see. I see that's really great and very insightful.
So if I go on the shelf and I get my 601 book, we can compare the 601. Let's do this. Right. Here is the Ian Neil 601.
Okay.
And some guy said to me, I'm going to buy that from my bookshelf because it's pretty. But if we get the two of them, put them side by side,
Yes. Oh,
you can actually see it or try and you see it.
yeah.
There is a massive difference.
Yeah, I see that.
And see when I teach it, I don't want to just PowerPoint and dive in and PowerPoint people. I have
Right,
whiteboards, I draw diagrams, I explain it. And I need that extra day so that people are prepared.
right, right, right. That's very thoughtful. On the next question, so what set this book apart from other study guides that are available out there for the 701s, and what makes the
Right.
difference?
What's happening is all my competitors are putting chapters in and they're putting a little bit of this objective, a little bit of that one, a little bit of that one. It's a bit like when you make a curry, you put different things in and stir it round. And what they're not doing, you cannot tell with other books if all the objectives are covered. Now, with my book, you go to the CompTIA exam objective PDF, you put it on the dual monitor, you open my book up, and I go 1, 2, 3, and you actually know you've covered all of the objectives. People are telling me it's much easier to learn that way rather than getting stuff in there, but also put real world examples of when we're using it and stories behind it so that we're not just giving information, but we're giving people an idea of why we're using that information.
Hmm, that's fantastic. My next question goes to the content coverage. So can you elaborate on kind of a specific domain or kind of subtopic covered in the book?
Yeah, because what's happened in 601, you had 35 objectives and 5 domains.
Okay.
In 701, you still get 5 domains, but you've got 28 objectives. But what they've done, attacks used to be 22%. They're now doing security and operations at 28, and attacks is the third one down. So they've actually they've mapped a few domains across, but there's a few new domains in there, and you're getting a lot of the management stuff in domain 5. Domain 4 is mainly the technical stuff, which is 9 objectives. That's why it's the most heavily tested, because objective one's got 4 objectives, domain one's got 4 objectives. Domain 2 has got 5 objectives. Domain 3 has got 4 objectives. Domain 4's got 9 objectives. And domain 5 has got 6.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. I like the part where it covers a lot of domains within the cyber security space. When I read it, it's quite loaded, I would say. So my next question is, it goes to the syllabus part of it. So what are the latest updates when you compare this to the CompTIA 701 exam syllabus?
This book is very easy to follow because each chapter is a domain objective, and you can very easily highlight all the objectives. And then we test you on the objectives, because then what you know, once you've done chapter 1, the whole of objective 1.1 is covered. You also get the revision at the back that says, look, I understand the whole lot of it. And it goes like that for the 28 objectives. So that what happens then, when you think you've covered everything and you think you're ready for the test, I've actually got some free online resources that come with the book. And I've got 2 mock exams at the moment of 75 questions. And you can go through the mock exams to see if you're going to pay your $404. I'm currently writing a third one. I'm 3/4 of the way through it. So that I want people to buy my book. It's going to be a one-stop shop. You've got the information, you've got all the objectives, you've got flashcards that come with it, you've got acronyms that come with it, and you've also got mock exams that come with it. I'm looking at the young person that can't afford a lot, buying one book, and it gets you prepared all the way through. And also, it gives you a good idea, do I want to spend my $404 today, or am I not quite ready for it?
Okay, let's go to the approach And the structure, I have a question on that. So how is the book structured to kind of facilitate learning and retention?
The book, for you to retain the information, the book is actually written quite well, and it's written with a non-jargon type thing.
Okay.
When you get to the end of the book, you've then got a summary. So the main key parts are actually summarized.
Okay.
Then you've got the objectives laid out. So you can highlight the objective. I've got this part of the objective, I've got that part. Then you've got multiple choice that says, right, how much have I retained of the most important things in this chapter? And as you go through, if you get 10 out of 10, you're fine. If you're not, that's an area where you need to go back and you need to review it because you're weak in that one area. And when you've done that for 28 chapters, you've then had 280 practice questions. You go on to the online stuff, there's currently 150 mock exam. They're a higher level and they're harder because the ones in the chapter in the book are just to make sure have a consolidated information. The ones online are saying to you, can I apply that?
Right. I see that set the book apart. So let's go to the practical application of the book. So how does this practical element kind of contribute to prepare someone or a candidate for the 701 exam in real world cybersecurity challenges?
Everything in the cybersecurity world in the 701 is explained, and you've got real world examples now, so that people can say, when I'm doing this in the real world, that's why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I get a lot of guys in IT and they say, I go through doing things. It's like the course I just done. I just done 16 people from the Air Force. And the guy says, when I'm at work, I do this. Now I know, having done the training and taken the book, I know why I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? So it actually is giving the person in the workplace or the person getting ready to join cybersecurity a good idea of where things are and the information they need and why you use something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would say, guys, this is one of the most, this is the book I would say is out there that you can actually use and utilize the material to pass your 701 Security Plus exam. It's well loaded. I have one of the copy myself, even though I've done Security Plus, but still a lot
Now,
of information there
do you want to know something as well? Let's do math, right?
that
I go to Amazon and this book is actually discounted at $36.
wow.
Normally it's $44. But you can see here, my competitors give you 10% off the exam. I give you 20%.
Yeah.
So if this is at full price, $44, I actually give you $48 off your exam. So you can make a $4 profit. At the
Ah,
moment, it's $36. So there's a $12. You buy the book, you go to the link, you get your exam voucher, and the exam voucher pays for the book.
wow.
How cool is that?
That's really brilliant. I like the idea. Okay.
Now, what I'm trying to do is help people that can't afford the $3,500 courses and that and everything else. And I've got a website where they follow me through. I'm giving them the exam voucher, and I'm making like I've got to watch the exchange rate to make sure I don't make a loss because I'm doing it as a service for the person rather than a profit thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's really brilliant. I like the idea. So let's go to the feedback from the reader. So I have just one question on that. So have you received any kind of feedback from reader who have used the book to prepare for the exam?
Oh yeah, can I share my screen?
You sure? Let me see if you can share.
If you've done the security, I should be able to share a screen.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, you can share.
Um, right. What we've got here, let's go to Amazon. So there's Amazon.com.
Okay.
Now, at the moment on Amazon.com, I'm at 4.8 out of 5. I've got 95 reviews. So I've had 95 reviews. And this girl here, Nicole D, she says, no cybersecurity needed. Best resource I've used for the exam. Now, she's married to a captain in the US Air Force, and she had no background knowledge. And she got my book, and she sat down for, I think it was about 4 weeks. She went through the whole book, did everything. And you know what? She scored 880 out of 900.
Wow.
Now, you've also got people like Coffee Brown. I used the book to study. I heard Ian Neil wrote it with Packet as one of the top security trainers, and I wanted to learn. Having passed the exam himself. Now, what we'll do, let's go and see what I'm getting at the moment. Let's go for most recent. Most recent, Daniel. Very straightforward book that covers every objective, no matter if you're a student, a pro, or I've got this the Zoom thing in front of it, or aiming to be a cybersecurity whiz kid that gives you everything.
Wow.
Jarrett Sherlock, easily the most comprehensive 701 cert guide by far. I used this book to sail through the test with ease. The domains and chapters are evenly placed and gradually get harder, but you wouldn't realize this as a book is properly teaching you the principles. As long as you finish the chapter review questions and correct mistakes you made, the book is perfect for somebody. I've then got Kelly Johnson, very detailed and informative book, preparation for Security Plus exam. Then
Wow.
we've got John, detailed book. Then we've got Dwayne. I recently got a copy of the Packet Publishing book. I really love it. And then you've got Benjamin. The information is written, presented by Mr. Ian Neil in the book, was a major contributor and helped me understand the IT aspects of the Security Plus course. As well, it made it easier to comprehend the knowledge and to pass my exam. So the people that are actually giving me reviews at the moment are not just people that have bought the book, but it's people who have actually got certified using the book.
Right. Right. Guys, seeing is believing. If you want to get a copy, you can always visit Amazon. I'll also post the link on my YouTube comment section so you can go there and just purchase this book. So let's go to the inside. I have a few questions on that. So what expertise or experience do you bring to the table as the author of this book?
Right. So I started in IT in 1982. I've been a field service engineer. I've done printers with Hewlett Packard. I've done 100 Exchange migrations, 50 server migrations. I've worked in IT, oh God, about 35 years now. Everything that I teach in the book security side wise, I've done. I've rolled out smart cards. I've set up encryption. I've done multi-factor authentication. So I understand it from a practical point of view. And also at the moment, I'm doing it from a teaching point of view because I'm actually teaching this to students 40 weeks a year. And I also know if the student's not picking up the information, I need to move things. And if I move things, I update my book. Because my 601 book, I think I published it twice so that people could understand. And that's what I'm doing. I've got the practical experience behind me. I'm also doing the teaching all the time. I know what the students need, and I know how to best get them there. And
Ah,
I've certified thousands of students.
so that is how you give back to people. That's really great. My next questions is, can you share any kind of personal insights or kind of tips for people who want to, or someone who is trying to prepare for the exam or trying to take the exam? Just kind of.
Right. First of all, I would beware of brain dump sites. They're the ones that post the questions, and you learn nothing.
Mhm.
I have got a very simple philosophy to life. Knowledge answers questions. Questions are the application of knowledge. So what you need to do, you need to look at all the exam objectives that CompTIA's got, and you need to learn each of them thoroughly. But I would say when you're doing a chapter in a book, you can't just skim it once and scan it and hope you retain the information. Now, I would say when you're reading information that's technical, I would read for 35 minutes and take a 10-minute break because you've got a 35-minute retention span. And I would say probably read a chapter 2 or 3 times. Let's say day one, I decide I'm going to do chapters 1 and 2. So I do chapters 1 and 2. Day two, I'm going to do 3 and 4. Day three, I might go back through 1, 2, 3, 4 because repetition and going over it gets it in there. Also, if you do it in small chunks, if I sit and read for 4 hours solid, it goes in and it goes back out again. But if I go for 35 minutes, it goes in, it stays in. Now, the other thing I would say to you is if you've got something that you can't really understand, and you've bought my book, you hit me up on LinkedIn because I've been known to set Zoom sessions up for students free of charge, and I help them understand it. How's that?
Sounds great. So, guys, he has given us tips on how you can pass this exam. I believe we've taken note of that. So, I have two more questions to ask before we round up this section. So,
Okay.
my first question is, what do you hope readers will take away from your book beyond passing the certification exam?
I think people buy the book to get certification.
Hmm.
However, I want people, when they read the book, to have comprehension and understand each of the topics because you can take a certification and pass it by maybe taking it once, twice, 3 times. And then when you go for a job interview, the guy turns around and says, "What is such and such?"
Mhm.
And if all you have done is learn a bunch of questions, you're going, "Oh, I want people to understand the concepts in the book so that when they go to interview, they can actually converse with the person on the interview." I also want people that when you've come through and you've done the Security Plus and you've consolidated the information and you've got certified, do you realize you're probably 75% towards CISSP?
Hmm.
And I want people to have the background knowledge to then go and do a more serious qualification because this is a foundation level.
Yeah.
Because I want people that buy my book, A, to get a start on their career, understand the knowledge, be able to talk to people in the interview, get certified, and I want to see them as the IT managers, the security, cybersecurity managers of the future. I want them to use this as a stepping stone to get their future started.
Right, right. So, guys, what it's basically telling us is we need to read to understand, not to just pass this exam, but to understand. And in case you're going for an interview, they ask you questions, you should be able to answer them, very well, merely using and reading and understanding the book. So that is a good advice on that. And I will advise us to take note of that. Let's always read to understand, not just to read to pass. So my last question for the interview, for this brief meeting is, do you have any kind of final advice or words of encouragement for people or individual pursuing a career in the cybersecurity?
I think people are going into cybersecurity. You first of all need to get yourself a good background, because I get a lot of police officers. I've worked, I've arrested people, and I've collected evidence and things like that. And I want to get into cybersecurity. And I said to them, "What do you know about DNS?" They said, "What's that?" I said, "What do you know about IP addresses?" They said, "What's that?" And that's the sort of thing you need. You need a whole background information, because you can't run until you learn to walk. And I would say to you, get a good knowledge base. But when you're going to cybersecurity, it's not a one I'm studying for 6 years. I've actually done 6 to 8 professional exams. When you get into IT and cybersecurity, you're always learning, because the topics is always moving, the attack types are always moving, the criminals are getting more smart, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to, I would say, you've got to embrace this, immerse this, eat, sleep, and drink this if you really want to go and do it. But you've got two different type of people. You get people who really want to do it, and people who think they want to do it.
Right.
Now, there's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I want to be in cybersecurity and I really want to, no matter what happens to me in my journey, if I fail one, I'll go back stronger and I get it again. So just keep trying, keep working hard, because hard work gives rewards.
Right. Thank you very much for all your breakdown and the details. Once again, this book, he is the author of this book. Like I said, I'll post the link on the comment section. Just go and grab your copy. And on the last note on what you said, cybersecurity space is very wide and things evolve every time. That's why you have to keep learning every time. Thanks once again for joining this program, or let me say this section. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate the knowledge you've shared at this moment. This is where we're going to end the meeting. Guys, once again, go and grab a copy of this. I'll post the link on my YouTube comment section so you can easily go get it on Amazon. Ian, I appreciate your time once again, and hopefully we'll meet, and discuss more about, the subsequent books and the upcoming ones too. It's really nice having you here.
It's been really good talking to you, mate. It's been fantastic.
Yes.
We will meet again,
Definitely.
because the world is such a small place. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll be interviewing you the next time.
I would really appreciate that.
Listen, I will do it if you want me. We'll have an, when I come back from Djibouti in July, why don't we meet up and I'll interview you? How's that?
That would be great. I'm looking forward to that. I will gladly accept that invite.
Right, let's go do it. Okay.
All right. I will note it down. Thank you very much for that.
Right.
All right.
Have a good week. Have a good weekend.
You too. Take care. So, guys, it's good to have you here once again. And guys, stay up, subscribe, like, and share. And I will see you on the next video.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.